Erev Tov in Israel, Boker Tov on the West Coast, and the US and in Brooklyn and anywhere else that people may be just waking up at this moment. This has really been an exciting week of celebration for the America-Israel Friendship League and our extended mishpacha all over the world, with over 42,000 viewers checking out our Yom Ha'atzmaut Independence Day celebration webinar with the Israeli Opera and the Ra'anana Symphonette. Today, we're continuing our cultural celebration by sharing Israeli contemporary music and poetry from a next generation of voices in collaboration with the Israeli Artist Project. Eiffel has launched this Friends in Deeds campaign 7 weeks ago, recognizing that we can't physically bring you to Israel, but we can bring some Israel to you at home. For everyone on this call, whether it's Zoom or Facebook, we want to ask you to use your chat function to send a word or two about how you're feeling today at this very moment, in any language you choose, in Hebrew, in Yiddish, in English, in Esperanto if you choose. Feel free as well to send us your questions for the performers as they're playing throughout the webcast, and we'll try to get in as many as possible. For everyone on Facebook, please turn on your watch party button so that other friends can join us live as well. And for anyone that doesn't know what a watch party is, ask a millennial. The tradition of the artistic and intellectual sharings of the coffee house or Beit Cafe date to the Ottoman Empire and reached an apex in Europe at the turn of the century. Tel Aviv added its own special dagesh and accent. Today, we add a new technological twist over the Atlantic with this gathering. Yoni Ven is the founder of the IAP, also known as YAP in New York. Yoni, I know you were supposed to be preparing right now for a live festival in Lower Manhattan with the Yappers when we first met. Tell us a little bit about the group and how it feels to be a cultural chalutz in an age of pandemic.
Hi there. Well, thank you very much, Wayne, and America-Israel Friendship League. This is a very exciting moment. Yes, we were about to have a huge festival throughout May, presenting Israeli theater, music, and art called the Aviv Festival. And we can, at this point, just hope we get to do it next May. But this is a great opportunity to still share all the amazing talent and creatives and these fantastic artists that you're about to hear. Not only in New York, but we get to share them to everyone, all of you, wherever you are, in the comfort of your own home. So we're absolutely excited that we get this opportunity, even though we're in this situation. So the more we can do to promote Israeli theater, music, and art, the better. So thank you again, America-Israel Friendship League. So we're very excited to start off the show. And first up, we have Jonathan Hashmonay. He is a leading member of YAP behind the scenes and in our very own YAP troupe. And he's joining us all the way from New Jersey. So pretend like you're seeing him live in person and give a warm welcome to Jonathan.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. It's always fun when for artists when an opportunity presents itself to share our art and our passion with people, especially when it comes to Israeli art. For me personally, I'm a musician and musical theater actor based in New York City. I moved here a year ago from Penn State, where I got my degree. And I'm just really thankful to YAP and the AIFL for having me here and having me just share two of my favorite songs with you guys. So this first song is called Ahavtia. It's by Shlomo Arti originally. It's a song that I heard on the radio a few months ago, and I was just disgusted with myself that I haven't learned how to play it on guitar yet, because it's such a beautiful song. It has such a cool groovy guitar part, and I just promised myself that I was going to learn it, and I did. So this song, it's in Hebrew, obviously. For those of us who don't speak Hebrew, I would say that this song kind of presents the ideal situation between two partners in a romantic relationship. It basically talks about how thankful this guy is to have to be another person's like go-to person, so that they are his and he is theirs. So yeah, that's what it's about generally. And this is Ahavtia by Shlomo Artzi. היא בליבי עכשיו, בתוך ליבי, כמו הרבה צללים, כמו הרבה שבילים, כמו עשן. היא רק שלי עכשיו, היא בחובי, כנוף הרבה עלים, כמי נהר כחולים, עכשיו היא כאן. אהבתיה, אני יודע זאת פתאום. אהבתיה, פתאום עכשיו, פתאום היום, כן היא שלי עכשיו. כמו השיר עולה היא מתוכי, עולה בכל כוחי, כמו השיר. אני קורא בכל בני האדם ומרחבי שם וכל רוחות הים והגלים. אם את תשמעי אותי ואת שירי המתפרץ כים צועק אל העולם, רק תשמעי. אהבתיה, אני יודע זאת פתאום. אהבתיה, פתאום עכשיו, פתאום היום, כן היא שלי עכשיו. כמו השיר עולה היא מתוכי, עולה בכל כוחי, כמו השיר. Now everyone's favorite part in any song. 1, 2, 3, and... היא בליבי עכשיו, בתוך ליבי, כמו הרבה צללים, כמו הרבה שבילים, כמו עשן. היא ברק שלי עכשיו, היא בחובי, כנוף הרבה עלים, כמי נהר כחולים, עכשיו היא כאן. אהבתיה, אני יודע זאת פתאום. אהבתיה, פתאום עכשיו, פתאום היום, כן היא שלי עכשיו. כמו השיר עולה היא מתוכי, עולה בכל כוחי, כמו השיר. כמו השיר.
Wow, Jonathan, you know, first of all, thanks for sharing the love. I think we all need it at this moment. And I'm seeing it on the comments that are coming through from Miami. You have a shalom from Karen in Miami.
Oh, thank you.
We have Stacy in Connecticut feeling hopeful and grateful. I can't even begin to explain what it means to me that Israelis have found a way to pour out their hearts and share with their American friends at this very moment, and what that means to us and what it says about the kind of friendships that we are trying to build. But I know this is hitting very hard for artists in a lot of different ways. You're used to being in front of a live audience, getting your interactions from them, gaining creativity from being with other performers on stage and with your bands. What has allowed you to sort of continue to create during this really uncertain period?
Yeah, honestly, that's a great question. Coming from theater, which is a very immersive and interactive art form, when you're on stage, when you prepare a theater piece, you have dress rehearsals and you have final rehearsals, and usually those happen without a crowd. And when you're doing it without a crowd, you're just running through the show, you're running through your lines and your positions. You always say, you know what, when the crowd will be here, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Whenever something weird happens or something like that, the crowd will be there, it'll be fine. And then opening night and, every show after that, it's just completely different. There's a whole different energy. You act different, you sing different, you feel different. So, and the audience really does influence the performance itself a lot, and I would say even the meaning of the show with different nights of the week. The show hits different because of the people there. So during the quarantine, it's hard to emulate that. And with Zoom calls like this and shows that are highly interactive, we try to overcome that barrier, and it does to a certain degree, but it's not the same. What has helped me a lot, honestly, is having hope that we will get out of this, and the theater and music industry will still have enough funds and people who want to support it in order to continue, and so that has propelled me to keep me on my toes and keep me ready to go whenever it hits. I can hit the ground running.
Great. Well, you've got more love coming from Lori and Edgar in Los Angeles, and from David just across town.
Thank you.
Or through the tunnel, over the bridge in New York City. So starting with Shlomo Artzi is a great way to begin this. I know you have another piece now coming up. Tell us about it. And why don't you just jump into it? Jump into it.
Okay, great. So this song is called Agadat Deshe. It's one of the most romantic and beautiful songs ever written in Hebrew, in my opinion, by Shalom Chanoch. Briefly, it just like many other Israeli songs, it's in a minor key. The music sounds very mellow, but honestly, it's just very romantic. So I hope you enjoy it. Ooh, sorry. יש ערמה של חבר'ה על הדשא, אני דברים כאלה מחבב, בנים בנות ביחד זה יפה שיש אומץ לפעמים להתערבב, שרים שירים ומביטים למעלה, ענן שם בירח מסתבן, חושבים במי להתאהב הלילה, אם כי הרהור כזה קצת מעצבן. מתחת לראשי מונחת ירך, ועל בטני צרור טלטלי מוטל, בלט יוצאות ידיים אל הדרך, ומסלולן ארוך ומפותל, גומרים לשיר ומקשיבים רוב קשב, בינינו מתפתחות לך שושיות, יש הסתננויות בתוך העשב, כי יש בו כל מיני גבשושיות. כיוון שתרדמה עליי נופלת, שוב אינני מצליח לאתר של מי היד אשר עליי זוחלת, ואת גופי הופכת לפסנתר. וכשאני מקיץ אין איש בדשא, רק קצת קריר וקצת רטוב מטל. ולהפתעתי אני רואה שאותו צרור טלטלים עליי מוטל, ומתוכו אליי צוחקות עיניים, ומתוכו אליי מבהיק צוואר. אני שואל, היי, מה הענייניים? היא בחיוך עונה לי, שום דבר. שואל, גם את ישנת? עונה, לאו דווקא. ותשובתה אותי קצת מביכה. שואל, אז מה בעצם את עושה כאן? שפתיה לא חשות, אני איתך. אני שותק שפתיים, היא נושכת. אני שותק וכה כבדות ידיי. פתאום היא מסתובבת והולכת, ורק אני שותק עוד שם.
Wow. Great way to start. Thanks so much, Jonathan. Let's take this across the ocean now. Naama Nachum in Israel. I don't know exactly where you and Guy Mintus are at the moment, but when I heard you before, it sounded like you were just next door. So where are you? And tell us about what you're going to play.
We are in Hadar Baron. In Israel. It's like it's pretty close to Tel Aviv. It's around like 30 minutes or maybe 25 minutes from Tel Aviv. So it's pretty like in the center. So hi everyone. It's so good to be here. So my name is Naama Nachum and this is Guy Mintus. And we want to thank YAP and AIFL for making this happen. And right here in the comments where you're from, and we would love to hear where you guys all are coming to the Zoom, and how we are all here together singing songs that we all love. We're gonna start with Hine Hine by Mati Kaspi. Enjoy. הנה 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 מנגינה שמתחילה נמוך, מנגינה שמתחילה במי במול, אבל רוצה לגדול אלה במול, פמינור מחפשת למוצא, והנה היא עולה עולה. לא ידעתי שתברח, לא ידעתי שתעוף רחוק כל כך, לא ידעתי שאותי תשכח, תתחצף ותענה, הנה 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 שנה שמתחילה לאט, עוד שנה שמתחילה היום לגדול, היום זוחלת ומחר פתאום תגיד שלום כמו חלום, ממהרת לדרכה והנה היא עולה עולה. לא ידעתי שתברח, לא ידעתי שתעוף רחוק כל כך, לא ידעתי שאותי תשכח, תתחצף ותענה, הנה הנה הנה. מנגינה שאהבה אותי שנה, אבל פתאום הייתה שונה, נסה עינה והיא עינה, והיא עינה, והיא עינה. לא ידעתי שתברח, לא ידעתי שתעוף רחוק כל כך, לא ידעתי שאותי תשכח, תתחצף ותענה, הנה הנה הנה. לא ידעתי שתברח, לא ידעתי שתעוף רחוק כל כך, לא ידעתי שאותי תשכח, תתחצף ותענה, הנה הנה הנה. לא ידעתי שתברח, לא ידעתי שתעוף רחוק כל כך, לא ידעתי שאותי תשכח, תתחצף ותענה, הנה הנה הנה.
Wow.
Thank you.
Kapayim, kapayim.
Thank you so much. We have one more song that I think most of you know. It's called, it's kind of a mesh. We won't tell you the whole thing, but it's based on You've Got a Friend. When you're down and troubled and you need some helping hand, and nothing, oh nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night.
Darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Just stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend.
When the night
If the sky
has come
above you turned dark,
and the land is dark
and full of
and
clouds that all
the
can
only
begin
light
to
we see.
blow, keep your hand together and call my name out loud. Soon you will be knocking at my door. gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend? Oh, people can be so cold. They'll hurt you, yes, and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just called out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, 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 running to stand by me. Stand by me.
Naama and Guy, all right. So you guys are in Hadar Sharon now, and what's the mood? I mean, are people beginning? I know things are starting to open up a little bit. Are people starting to return to normal, whatever normal means in Israel these days?
Yeah, a little bit. We both, we're musicians, and so our things haven't opened up yet. So we're doing everything we can in the, in the restrictions of whatever we can do inside the house, and we get a lot done actually.
Well,
so it's really cool.
it's more than cool. It's Yedidut. It is it is something that you contributed back to us and back and forth, and it feels like family. There are people from the Caribbean who have just called in and said that you've lightened their day in the morning. There's
Wow.
someone in Los Angeles who wants your playlist already, and we will share everything from the beautiful program that we have today with everyone who's joined us, whether it's on Facebook or on Zoom. So thanks so much for making this happen and sharing some love from Hadar Sharon. And in particular, the mashup you came up with is so appropriate for what we're trying to create here. And it's also a perfect segue to Ali Cohen, who is calling in from New York and has given some thought about how this Beit Cafe Virtuali is also an opportunity for us. And Ali, I know you've given a lot of thought to this and have some readings and reflections, poetry from Israeli poets to both in the Hebrew, that originated both in English, originated in Hebrew, translated to English, and one that I guess was sort of a surprise to read in the pages of the New Yorker, an Israeli poet. So tell us about your selections, and thanks for joining us, and for helping organize this.
Thank you. That's right, Wayne. Thank you so much for having me. תודה רבה וצהריים טובים, ערב טוב לכולם, לכל החברים שלנו. Thank you. Welcome wherever you are in the world to all of our friends. I'm talking to my iPhone. I've got my iPad to my left and my notes to my right. So if you see me looking, it's because there's so much to be said. And I'm so grateful that so many friends and family of my own and of all of us have joined here today. It would be remiss of me to not even mention the song Yoshvim Bebeit Cafe, Sitting in a Coffee House by T-Pax, which I think might have inspired the theme for today. So yeah, I come from a very musical family, though I did not inherit the instrument gene. And they would say that I can't sing. So let's hear what they say afterwards. So I've become the word person, and I take words very seriously and to heart. And I've been exposed to the first poem that I'll read through past trips of mine to Israel. I happen to be the only non-Israeli member of the executive and the planning committee of Israeli Artists Project. So I feel very alone in that, but soon maybe I will also be Israeli. But I can relate. I've been there 9 times. I'm very passionate about the culture, the the people, the language, the history, the food, and the togetherness that I feel when I'm there and when I'm amongst Israelis. So, יושבים בבית קפה ומרגישים בתוך בר, מה לא עשינו, איפה טעינו, מה נשתנה? Sitting in a coffee house, feeling in a bubble. What haven't we done? Where were we wrong? And what has changed? Couldn't say it any better. We live in crazy times. So I have to first give special thanks to our fellow YAP leader, Yael Beckerman, who without her keshev, her connection to her friend who works at AIFL, this partnership between AIFL and YAP would not have come to be, nor would this event. So shout out to you, Yael. And kesher sounds like gesher, which may be familiar to those who know the famous Rabbi Breslov line, gesher, kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar meod, ve'ikalo lo. I can't remember off the top of my head, it's too fast. But the point is, the whole world is a narrow bridge, and not to have fear at all. And when we travel and when we step out of our comfort zones, it's really important not to be afraid, not to sweat it out, to just go for it. And Yehuda Amichai is a very famous poet in Israel. He passed probably something like 20, 30 years ago at this point. But he was one of the pioneers. He and his family moved to pre-state Israel in the 1930s, served in the British Army, and became a very prolific Israeli writer, writing many books, poems, and was inspired by the likes of T.S. Eliot and others. So part of his poem, Tourists, if my friend Andrew is on, he'll know exactly where I got this from. Tourists by Yehuda Amichai. Once I sat on the steps by a gate at David's Tower. I placed my 2 heavy baskets at my side. A group of tourists was standing around their guide, and I became their target marker. You see that man with the baskets? Just right over his head. There's an arch from the Roman period. Just right over his head. Right, I don't know. But he's moving, I said to myself. Redemption will come only if their guide tells them. You see that arch from the Roman period? It's not important. But next to it, left and down a bit, there sits a man who bought fruit and vegetables for his family. And it says a lot about the nature of Israel, right? Many of us have traveled there. I'm sure many have gone on AFL missions. We ourselves at YAP are many natively Israeli or have family there. So it's familiar to observe your surroundings, to maybe observe the street signs and the names of the streets, which commemorate everybody from Herzl and Moses and Avraham Avinu, all the way down to the names of the poets and the famous people today, and Martin Luther King. I mean, it's truly unbelievable to walk the streets of Israel and to go in those markets and to be one of those passersby who maybe the other tourists or the Israelis themselves will notice and be part of their narrative. Amichai himself says that a poet's state of mind is seeing the world with a kind of double exposure, seeing undertones and overtones, seeing the world as it is. Irony was an essential element in his poetry, a way, as he said, of always trying to see another side. That was how he lived, focusing, refocusing, and juxtaposing different shifting and changing perspectives. Almost like a sculpture, he saw it. We've all been there, and unfortunately, we can't travel right now. Many of us can't even leave our homes, although it's a beautiful day to be at the beach or the park. I think sometimes, especially now, we take solace in the music, and it brings our mood up, and it brings us back to normal. Hebrew is a very romantic language, a very beautiful language, a language of shorashim, of roots. Every single Hebrew word, it's actually, many people think it's hard to learn because it's got a different alphabet and it's just funny and not what we're used to hearing. But actually, when you break it down, it's almost like math. You have a 3-letter root, bum, 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 and from that, you can derive every other word that might relate to it. So shir, the word for song, is also the word for poem, and also the word for remnant. And this is an insight from the next poet, Chagit Grossman, who's more contemporary. Like Wayne said, Chagit she actually was born and raised in Tel Aviv. She has also published extensively, but she lives in modern times. And with this word shir, a remnant, she says, a poem in Hebrew is something you leave behind, something that remains. She says a poet is an artist of emotion, and emotion is the basis for all transcendent art. To cast a glance from the sidelines, to give words to those who do not have access to words, this is the role of the poet, and also of the songwriter. So she writes, and I think it's very poignant and very relevant for today, for our friendship that is blooming. She writes in the New Yorker originally, but was published later on in Hebrew, translated to English. So it says, on friendship, if a friend calls out to you late at night from beneath your window, never send him on his way. And if you've sent him away and still insist on rigid rules, regain your composure after a moment and run to the window and shout his name. Come, Melchav, come back. I've got some corn cooking. Come eat something. And he'll placidly retrace his steps and gladly accept the key you tossed down from your window. We'll come upstairs to the first floor and we'll be impressed by the large pictures on the walls. He'll sit and wait for you to slip into a clean shirt, and you'll put on the movie in the kids' room, and your baby daughter will rush to the kitchen and come back with a red pepper for him. He'll decline the warm corn and say he's already had dinner. In the meantime, your husband will chat with him about Tai Chi and pour him a glass of cold, sweet pineapple juice. You'll return to the living room and go out to the balcony and light a cigarette and sip a cold beer. You don't yet realize that this is a sublime moment in your life, one of the most sublime you'll ever know. And with that, I give a l'chaim of coffee, represent, and I hope to see you all very soon to sit over coffee and to share better times. Thank you so much for having me here.
Ali, thanks for sharing from the richness of the Hebrew language and the richness of Hebrew culture, wherever the person writing is sitting at the time. I suspect that when Chagit wrote that piece and was speaking about calling out from under the window, it was not imagined that window might be a Zoom window where we're all sort of calling out to one another for this program at the moment, but certainly this is a wonderful attribution and affirmation of her words and to Yehuda Amachai's words as a remnant of spirit to help get people through these tough times. Hadar Baron in New Jersey, we're ready for some more music to continue with the Beit Cafe this morning, whether you've got coffee or tea in front of you, Hadar, or orange juice maybe, for those of you calling in. We have several calling in from Florida and the Caribbean and Los Angeles, so everybody's ready for a little more of the music time. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe and healthy during these times. Like Wayne mentioned, my name is Hadar Baron. I was born in Israel, raised half in Israel and half in the States. I've been back and forth quite a lot. I'm currently joining in from New Jersey, obviously the States. And I'm hoping to just, lift some spirits with some music today. Music is always fun, lifts my spirits. Yeah, I'm really curious as to where you guys are tuning in from. If you guys want to write in the chat where you're coming in from, that's really interesting. So I'd love to see that. But I'm going to kick it off following suit with Jonathan's set with another song from Shlomo Artzi, who I grew up listening to thanks to my parents who are watching from upstairs in our house. Shout out to them. So this is going to be Dat Ma'over Alai. And I've sang this with the troupe, so it's going to be a little weird to do it solo. Haven't done it solo in a while, but if you guys know the song and you're sitting at home and you want to sing along, please do. 1, 2, 1. Do 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 do. עכשיו אני מרגיש כאילו לא יודע כלום, עכשיו אני מחיש את צעדיי, מסתכלת בחלון, רואה אותי עובר בחוץ, היא לא יודעת מה עובר עליי, בתוך עיניה הכחולות, ירח חם תלוי, עכשיו היא עצוב בוודאי היא מוציאה את בגדיי, אוכלת לבדה את התות, היא לא יודעת מה עובר עליי. אומנם אין אהבה של הסוף, אבל הסוף הזה נראה לי מכולם. הולך בין האנשים ברחוב, צועק תגידו לה. עכשיו אני ממשיך כאילו לא הכל אבוד, זה זז בבטן והורסת לילותיי. אני חושב שהאהבה שלי איתה זה הדבר הכי חשוב. היא לא יודעת מה עובר עליי. אומנם אין אהבה של הסוף, אבל הסוף הזה נראה לי מכולם. הולך בין האנשים ברחוב, צועק תגידו לה. תגידו לה. כשהיא נוסעת אני נשאר, לא זז מכאן אף פעם, הולך בעיר מתפטר מגעגועי, חוזר לחדר ונגמר, כותב שירים שר אותם. היא לא יודעת מה עובר עליי. אומנם אין אהבה של הסוף, אבל הסוף הזה נראה לי מכולם. הולך בין האנשים ברחוב, צועק תגידו לה. תגידו לה. תגידו לה.
Thanks, Hadar. The answer to your question is we've got people calling in from across the street in New Jersey from you. We have people in New Albany, Ohio, Costa Rica, Florida, all over the country. So I know you have one more song, and we want to make sure we get everyone in. So go ahead and go right into your next song.
Okay. I was going to do a cover, but I think if I only have time for one more, I'll do an original, actually. A lot of people have been doing covers, and I think, you know, we're all artists and we're all, you know, doing our own thing. And I think it'd be cool to kind of show that side. I am an original artist and I do my own music. So yeah, this is a song that I wrote a couple of years ago. It is released, it's out on my album. It's called Upper Hand. And it's just about kind of doing your own thing and following your own path. And staying true to yourself, I guess, which is always important. So yeah, this song is called Upper Hand. Usually when I do it live, I have some audience participation. Unfortunately, I can't do that with you guys, but if you catch on and you want to sing along, I mean, please do. I sang this last in Tel Aviv in July with So Far Sounds, so just kind of have fun with this one. This is Upper Hand. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Hard, I'm not in charge. It must be new for you to recognize somebody else is standing in your place. You'll get a good look while you can, not too hard to understand the reason you're going down, going down. No, 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 run, baby. baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. No, 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 run, baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. I comprehend it's hard for you to let anyone else through, but look, I've got the upper hand, not just about what you can, so close your eyes and look away. I'm leaving, not sure if you can handle this, not coming back for this, but even if you could, who said you were good enough? Watch me take a sip, you're not that innocent. No, 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 run, baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. No, 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 run, baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. You guys ready for the rap? You think you know what you're doing, but baby, you know nothing at all. You think you're winning the game, but baby, you're playing it all wrong. You think you've got it all figured out, but you're just going around. You think you're going up, you think you're going down. No, 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 no. Run, baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. No, no, run, baby, run, baby, run, baby, run. Thank you, guys.
Hadar, thanks for that original song.
Thank
and
you.
for keeping this exciting and diverse and everything we love about Israel. Original twists, covers, spoken word, poems, exactly what we had hoped for. Thank
you so much for having me.
We really enjoyed it. And for those of you that think that only young people can create and create fun in Ruach, I am excited to introduce an intergenerational moment for us with our final performer. We've got Joe Messa and his son are going to do a few different songs, both English and in Hebrew, their own rendition of this. And Joe, I know you've had energy, creativity, and excitement about this from the get-go. Tell us where you are and tell us what we're going to hear.
Well, we're in Brooklyn, New York. What's up, Wayne? The show's been beautiful. We've been watching everything. We're in Brooklyn, New York. Waiting to get outside the house a little bit. It's going to be a nice, gorgeous day today. What we're doing, obviously, we're creating. This is a time for most artists that they're sitting indoors and all the gigs are done, and you know, nobody's got any gigs, but you know, the ones that are taking advantage are coming up with a lot more, I guess, you know, a lot more new material and just general ideas which are flowing right now. And I'm actually grateful for this opportunity, kind of seeing this as, you know, as a pause on life. And that's it. We're taking it from there, and hopefully we're soon coming to Israel to collaborate with some great big performers in Israel. So we have a lot of stuff lined up, hopefully for the summertime, and we're very, very excited in general, keeping our spirits up. We're gonna do a song for you right now. We're gonna see if there's gonna be time for a third. You'll let us know. If not, it's all good. This is a song called Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. All you guys know the song. We're going to do it a little bit in our own version. I remember when I lost my mind. Something so special about that place. Even your emotions have an echo, so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. This time make me crazy. possibly. And I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice, that's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes have the heart to lose the lives I don't live. And all I remember is thinking I want to be just like them. Ever since I was little, look like fun. And it's no coincidence I've come. And I get down when I'm done. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe we're crazy. Probably. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Probably crazy. Yes, probably crazy. Beauty. All right. We're going to go right now. We're going to do a Hebrew song. A song that's by Meir Banai. It's been covered by Yehudim, which is also a great band of mine. I love Meir Banai too. And it's called Etzlech Ba'olam. כל הלילה גילינו סודות של הגוף. תני לי מקום, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. תני לי מקום, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. Hey, hey, hey. השדים של הלילה יוצאים כבר לרקוד. הם נוגעים בי, נוגעים בך, נוגעים עוד בו. תני לי מקום, תני לי יד, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. תני לי יד, תני לי מקום, תני לי יד, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. זה אני מנגן לך ניגון. זה אני שלוקח אותך לטיול. תני לי יד, תני לי מקום, תני לי יד, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. תני לי יד, תני לי מקום, תני לי יד, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. אצלך בעולם. תני לי יד, תני לי מקום, תני לי יד, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם. תני לי מקום, תני לי מקום אצלך בעולם.
Look, if I could give you a hand right now, literally, I would. That was so amazing and such a beautiful interpretation of that beautiful song. Just tell me, what does it mean to have your son sitting side Maor, sitting there with you in Brooklyn, in quarantine? You know, you're in this mecca of creativity, but you're stuck. But you and your son there are creating something really beautiful for everybody today.
First of all, thank you so much. I mean, that's really heartwarming, and the feeling that I have is pretty much the feeling of just being very grateful. You know, that's the feeling that I wake up with, and the one that I go to sleep with every day. And you know, every moment creating with, you know, with anybody, but particularly, you know, doing something with your own DNA, with your own kid, is amazing. You know, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and you know, I'm happy. I really am.
Thank you for not just sharing the beautiful song, sharing the beautiful message, but both of you together to sort of round out this wonderful performance and community building moment. All of the artists today have contributed their time and their efforts. They're all volunteers. They've put together the Israeli Artist Project has taken the best of Israeli Ruach and found ways to bring it to the screen and now to this virtual screen, and we're grateful for your partnership. We've shared over these past several weeks that as part of our community building efforts to provide a little bit of a hafsaka, a little bit of a break from the anxiety of the moment, that we created a campaign called the Friends in Deeds, where we are announcing our $500 food donation of Israeli foods and treats to vulnerable communities and frontline medical staff that are battling COVID-19. So we send a little bisli, we send a little bamba, we send samosam chocolates, and if you look on our website, if you look at any of our social posts, you'll see medical staff in their masks, and you can tell they're smiling, holding up these treats. They're unexpected. They come in the midst of people that are serving excessive hours and under undue circumstances and conditions, and it doesn't solve their problem, but it brings them a little joy, just like the music did today. This week, we're sending our package of goods to the Medical Intensive Care Unit at the Penn Presbyterian Medical Center in Philadelphia, where we had a number of viewers today, to try to give them a break from their COVID-19 efforts. Each week, we're asking our friends and partners in this community to help us identify other medical personnel who might appreciate a boost and support from Israel. So you saw on your screen our various addresses. You can submit a nomination there. We'll put up all of the contact information. You can find it on our website, and nominate and let us know about people in your community that could use a little bit of support at this moment. I just want to give one final program announcement. This webinar series that started only just 7 weeks ago is in full bloom, and tomorrow at noon, you can join us for another special celebration in honor of the 160th birthday of Theodore Herzl. Am Yisrael Chai, live from Jerusalem, Herzl's birthday party on Zoom. So yet another opportunity for us to come together, celebrate the idea of Im Tirtzu Ein Zo Agadah. We're dreaming it, we're making it happen, and we're sharing this with as many new friends and old friends as we can find. We love this partnership with Israeli Artist Project. They're working on some really cool music videos and other things that we'll look for an opportunity to share with you as well. Keep up all the creative juices. You brought us a lot today. We appreciate it very much, and we want to wish everyone a Shavua Tov, a great week, full with hope and inspiration and new possibilities that maybe we didn't quite recognize were even there. Thanks everyone for being with us today.